Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro.
$14.2 comes soon, but first, welcome to Miami.
Over 8,000 affiliates across the globe hosted 14.1. Almost 900 called the Dirty South home. Week 2 of the CrossFit Games Open starts in Miami, Florida. The hotspot for dance music has the denizens of the Magic City always showing off their moves. Tonight, South Florida's Talayna Fortunato and veteran Camille Leblanc-Bazinet are hoping they have the moves to deal with Dave Castro's latest medley. Welcome to Miami. 14.2 is next.
What's up, Dirty South? And hello to my worldwide CrossFit family, wherever you're tuning in from. We're glad you're here. I'm Rory McKernan, your host, and we're live from I Am CrossFit Doral. Now, I wanted to tell you guys that we brought the party, but really, we found it here in Miami. These people are crazy. These people are crazy. Miami's on a whole other level. Please help me in welcoming our special musical guest. He's a CrossFitter who spins for the Miami Heat, DJ Irie.
Get loud, Miami!
Yeah, tonight is going to be amazing. In just a few moments, the unveiling of 14.2. But first, I want to celebrate, because I know some of y'all got your first double unders last week. And how about you veterans? Who got fitter since 2011? I definitely did. I definitely did. And I know what you guys did afterwards as well. Because on the CrossFit Games app alone, you guys logged over 63,000 hours. That's the equivalent of 7.2 years leaderboarding. I don't know if that makes me impressed or mad or what. That's crazy. It's a lot of leaderboarding. But that's all history. So goodbye 14.1, hello 14.2. Dave Castro this evening is very excited to get to his announcement quickly, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but either way, we're going to meet our athletes right away. Tonight, it's Florida versus the Fleur-de-Lis. That's a sign of national pride in Quebec, just like Camille Leblanc-Bazinet.
I think I really like the Open, and I really like pushing myself there because I think that's the only time in the whole journey of competition with the CrossFit Games that I can compete with everyone in the world.
After 3 straight top 10 finishes at the CrossFit Games, last year Leblanc-Bazinet suffered the worst finish of her career, 16th. But the Quebec native has matured tremendously since her rookie year and is bringing a whole new outlook to 2014.
After last year, for me, it was time to, I guess, kind of reassess your priority. I think what I did last year is more understand why I love this so much, why I love this sport so much, because all of a sudden last year I felt like all of a sudden I had pressure on me, and I didn't like that.
At game time, Camille is all business, but her inner child always finds a way to come out.
I do take training seriously because for me it's important. Like for me, I find happiness and pride by getting better every day, but everyone who trained with me know that I'm a goofball. I think the only way to get really better in this sport is to have fun and like try to do what CrossFit is, and it's push your limit and get better.
Oh, it's Camille gonna get.
Let's give a huge I Am CrossFit welcome to Camille Leblanc-Bazinet!
All right, up next, it's the Florida girl. She's been your regional champion for the past 2 years. The Dirty South loves Talayna Fortunato.
I'm a physical therapist. I tend to be happy most of the time. People might think I'm shy, but when you get to know me, I'm pretty goofy. I'm more nervous talking than performing.
Looking for her second straight podium finish in Carson, Fortunato put together 3 straight top 3 finishes to close out the 2013 Reebok CrossFit Games, but came up 7 points shy of her goal.
Honestly, last year I was a little burned out going into the games, so I didn't quite have the drive that I did the year before. Somewhere in the middle of it, I was kind of like, I guess I'm out of it. And then towards the last day, I just went hard and forgot about the leaderboard and actually did better.
Fortunato's climb back to the top of the CrossFit world starts on her own home turf in South Florida.
I definitely feel more comfortable at sea level and in the humidity. I've learned this year you can't focus on the next events down the road. You have to focus on just the next event. You can't stop fighting just because you have one bad event. One at a time, take the WODs as they come. You never know what's going to happen.
All right, Miami, show your love for South Florida's own Talayna Fortunato.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the description of the workout, Dave Castro.
$14.2 is 10 overhead squats at 95 pounds for the men, 65 for the women, 10 chest to bar pull-ups. In 3 minutes, attempt to complete 2 rounds of 10 overhead squats, 10 chest to bar pull-ups. If you cannot complete 2 rounds of that couplet, your score for the 3 minutes for 14.2 is the total amount of reps you complete in that 3-minute duration. If you do complete 2 rounds of 10 overhead squats and 10 chest to bar pull-ups, you're given an additional 3 minutes of work time. But when you finish the 2 rounds of that couplet, you stop. If it takes you 1 minute and 30 to do, you stop and you wait till the 3-minute mark. And then when the 3-minute mark hits, you start the second 2 rounds of overhead squats and chest to bar pull-ups. And when you finish that 2 rounds of the couplet, if you do it within the 3 minutes, you're given an additional 3 minutes to work, and so on, and so on, and so on. I'm not done. I'm not done. Come join me. It's not over. Here's the deal. Camille stated that would go on forever and ever. It would go on for a while. We realized that in programming it. So the 2 rounds stay fixed throughout. The first round is 2 rounds of 10 overhead squats, 10 chest to bar pull-ups. The second round, the reps increase to 12 and 12. If you finish that work in that duration, the rounds increase again to 14 and 14. And the rounds then increase to 16 and 16, 18 and 18. And you have to finish that 2 rounds of the couplet within the 3 minutes to advance to the next duration. Any questions? Thank you. Let's have some fun.
Oh man, I don't know if I like it or not. We basically have an increasing ascending ladder that goes up until the athletes can't keep up anymore. I don't even know what to call it. Is it a three-mom? I think it's a three-mom. It's similar in structure to last year's last open workout, which Camille had to take a long, lonely road to a very dark place, but I think Talayna's gonna join her this evening. You can be sure they're gonna light this rogue rig on fire. We gotta take a short break now, but don't go away, and please, if you're gonna do the workout right this very second, go to the Games website, games.crossfit.com. You gotta read the fine print on this one, there's a lot of detail. If you're sticking with us, which I hope you do, after the break, Adrian Bosman, the head judge of the CrossFit Games, will go through the finer points of 14.2. We'll be right back.
You guys ready to work out?
Here we go. We're on in 5 seconds.
All right, here we go.
3, 2,
All right, yeah, here we
1, go! Woo! Overclock Warriors doing great. Come on, Eddie. Hit it, baby. One more. We're going to PR. Zero notes still working. Let's bring him home. 8:04. Wow. 15:12. You guys did it.
CrossFit is not an easy discipline, it's tough.
I think gone are the days of going to the gym and pumping iron and running on treadmills. We have now redefined what it means to be in shape. It's good for your mind, your body, your soul.
Now it's the passion to get better, the passion to see these people. And there's no other community I've been a part of that's like CrossFit.
We are United by Fitness.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Before the break, Dave Castro unveiled an ascending ladder of overhead squats and chest-to-bar pull-ups that will go on for as long as the athletes can stay ahead of the clock. Sounds simple enough, but of course we have standards. Check them out.
Every repetition of the overhead squat, the athlete descends below parallel until the hip crease is clearly below the top of the knee. At the top of every repetition, we need to see the hips, knees, and arms locked out with the barbell clearly over the center of the athlete's body. Any repetition that starts with the barbell on the floor may be snatched, as long as the athlete reaches below parallel with the hips and stands to full extension. That repetition will count. During the chest-to-bar pull-ups, any grip or any style of pull-up is permitted as long as the repetition starts with the arms fully extended and finishes with the athlete clearly making contact with the bar below the collarbone. Your final score will be the total repetitions completed before your time cap.
Not a mathematician? Not a problem. Kiki Dixon is standing by with the head judge of the CrossFit Games and my enemy in the CrossFit Games Open, Adrian Bosman, for special instructions on 14.2.
I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Adrian Bosman, aka the Boz.
They love ya.
This event has a twist. What do we need to know, Boz?
Well, it's really important that you guys remember, if you complete 2 rounds, you have to rest until the beginning of the next 3-minute segment.
Anything else we need to know?
Yeah, each one of those 3-minute segments, we need to have the athletes standing tall. They cannot have their arms on the bar ready to go. They've got to wait for that 3, 2, 1 count in.
All right, you heard the man. Back to you, Ro.
Yeah, sorry guys, just give me 1 second. Hashtag CrossFit Games. Tweet. Hey. It's basically as easy as that. If you guys want your tweets on the show, here's what you do. Follow us at CrossFit Games. Use the hashtag CrossFit Games. Send your questions or analysis. We'll either use them on the show or we'll pose the questions in the cool down show immediately following the workout. Dave Castro will sit down with these athletes. Adrian Bosman will also join us for this edition of the show. Get your questions answered. Hey, let us know and I'll get you an answer. But we've waited long enough. You guys ready for this workout? For the competition call, let's go to CrossFit Games veteran Chase Ingram alongside the 2009 CrossFit Games champion, Tanya Wagner.
Thanks, Ro. Well, Dave Castro has brought his talents to South Beach and just dropped a bomb and a lot of jaws with this announcement.
Holy aggressive. And it's only the second week of the Open.
Tanya, we're going to take a look at these 2 women, and just on paper, they seem to be like polar opposites.
These athletes have very different body types, but they excel at bodyweight movements, and they do well in similar workouts. At last year's games alone, in multiple events that were gymnastics heavy, they were only separated by 1 place, and they were in different heats, but tonight they're head-to-head, and they will be pushing each other.
Tonight they are going head-to-head. Big things are happening in Miami, Florida. The crowd is ready. The athletes are ready. 14.2 is open and ready for fitness.
Ten seconds. All right, Miami, let's get loud for these guys. Make some noise. 3, 2, 1, go.
And 14.2 is underway. Camille Leblanc-Bazinet versus Talayna Fortunato. Now, we're starting this off with 10 overhead squats at 65 pounds for the women, 95 pounds for the men, and then moving on to 10 chest-to-bar pull-ups. It's a couplet, but we're only doing 2 rounds in 3 minutes.
And as I expected, those women went unbroken on their overhead squats. It's a very light weight for these athletes, and they're going to do their pull-ups unbroken here as well. But Chase, this round will not be what we see. What we see here will not be what we see in later rounds, for sure.
Not for these 2 ladies. Rep for rep, no surprise here. 65 pounds is nothing for these athletes. We've got a snatch of, 200 pounds or 190 pounds for Camille, 185 for Talayna. And these are our 2 best chest-to-bar female athletes considerably in the CrossFit Games Open.
That's why this matchup is awesome for here for tonight. And what they're doing right now for this first round of 3 minutes, they want to maximize their rest time. They both love competing. They love this atmosphere. But had I be their coach and tell them a little advice, I would probably say, take it easy. Treat this first 3 minutes as a warm-up. They both have the adrenaline, the crowd, the lights. They didn't want to already fall behind, if you want to say. But with this workout, it's a little different when they have 3 minutes on each segment.
Well, round 1 is down. Both ladies finished. Camille's around 109. Talayna was around 110. They have 90 seconds until the next round begins. So as an athlete, we're looking at both techniques here. Look at Camille is on your right and Talayna will be on your left.
Both using that butterfly pull-up, real nice and fluid. This is the fastest way to complete a chest-to-bar pull-up.
And like we said before, these are chest-to-bar pull-ups, something we've seen in the CrossFit Games Open the last 4 years, so it's no surprise to see it. For me personally, I am surprised to see it now, right? I'm always waiting for that Fran ladder or that Fran couplet, that ascending that we had last year, so this kind of throws everything off.
It does, but for these girls, you saw their reactions, they were excited. They wanted to get on that bar, do their pull-ups. They're both very strong at these movements. And I think we're going to see some strategies come into play now as they get a little more tired, a little more winded. Taking deep breaths, they still look composed, but it's going to get bad fast.
So 30 seconds until round number 2 starts. We're moving the reps up. We had 10 overhead squats and 10 chest to bar pull-ups for 2 rounds in the first 3-minute AMRAP. Now we're moving to the second. We're going to amp up the reps. 12 overhead squats, 12 chest to bar pull-ups, but still 2 rounds.
And that was the curveball that they both kind of were there. That was it. They were ready for 10 and 10, see how long they could go. But that curveball, you could see Talayna's face.
1, go!
Couplet round number 2 underway. 12 overhead squats and 12 chest to bar pull-ups for 2 rounds. I'm assuming we're going to see the same thing we saw in round number 1, where both ladies are just going to go as fast as they can and unbroken.
They're still trying to keep pace with each other and push themselves. You can see Camille's trying to make sure every rep counts, taking a look at her judge. There's no room for error in later rounds, so you need to make sure you get that range of motion set now so that you can feel where that bottom part of the squat is.
That's a good point, because range of motion, right? The reps won't count unless they pass through the full range of motion, as they showed earlier. Making sure the hip crease gets below the knee and standing up all the way. Now, for a 10 and 10 or 12 and 12, it might not make that big of a difference, but these ladies are looking at round 4, right? I want to get to the 16. I want to get to the 18. I want to get through the 20. They don't have a lot of room for error in those later rounds.
And that's where all the separation is going to happen on the leaderboard in those later rounds.
Just past the 1-minute mark for round number 2. Both ladies off the bar, unbroken, just as we thought. And they're moving on to their second and final round of 12 chest to bar pull-ups.
And surprising to me, it actually looked like Camille took those overhead squats a little more relaxed. Talayna there chose to break and get off the bar. We're already seeing some deviation in their strategies. And this is just the beginning.
Camille done in just about 1:15. Talayna seems like she's taking a break at 6. Now, we might have to keep our eye. Was that a planned break, or are we already starting to feel these reps add up?
Well, Chase, remember, they just were told the announcement. They did not have a chance to digest all of this. They didn't really think too much about it, except for in their heads, they were thinking last year. They look in their faces, oh, again. They're thinking 13.5. However, this is very different, because if you go faster, you're not gaining that extra time. You always go back to those 3 minutes and you have to rest. So there's no need to push too hard here in the beginning.
We have 1 minute until the next section. We just finished our 12 overhead squats and 12 chest to bar pull-ups. Cammie's on the right. Talayna is on your left. You can see 2 different styles.
And here you see where it looks like Camille's just dialing in. She's not even paying attention to Talayna, going at her own speed, which is the best thing you can do in this workout.
And on the left, you see that's where Talayna came off the bar. Now, was that she had 7 reps to go. You see Chuck Carswell in the back with his hand in the air with 5 reps left. That's to indicate how many reps. They usually put it up for the last 5.
And it looks like that was planned. It looks like she probably thought, well, she's up there, what am I doing? I don't need to push so hard. Once chest to bar pull-ups go away, they go away and they're hard to get back. However, these are 2 of the best. We're not going to see that right away, but they still need to be mindful of it.
1, go!
Round number 3. 14 overhead squats at 65 pounds into 14 chest bar pull-ups for 2 rounds. And you see Camille having her eyes down, trying not to focus on what's in front of her and just trying to get her reps.
That would be the best strategy in my opinion. Focus on yourself. It's so hard to do when you're this close to another athlete, but you have to know yourself. You have to know where you're going to break down and where you need to go with your pacing.
Now the reps are starting to add up. You can see that overhead position getting a little bit more shaky. Now we're on to 14 chest bar pull-ups. Talayna Fortunato's on your left in the pink sports bra, and she breaks. Now we have to see. It looked like that was 7 again. We'll have to keep count here, and it was. So it seems she might be going 7-7, where Camille goes unbroken again.
Talayna's posted on her blog. She's doing chest to bar pull-ups all the time. She knows where she needs to break. She knows what her capabilities are on that bar.
Both females now on to the second round of 14 overhead squats. We're starting to see the fatigue slowly set in here. Talayna Fortunato on your left, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet on your right. Camille on your right has 4 reps left to go. This will be her, she's been going unbroken since the start.
And you know, I predict that with these overhead squats, we're going to see the unbroken. It's going to be on the pull-up bar. We see the breakdown, but it will be interesting to see if Talayna ever chooses to put down that overhead squat bar.
Camille Leblanc-Bazinet on your right, still cranking through, and now she will break for the first time at the 7.5-minute mark in round number 3.
Good, timing it out very well, making sure they don't rush to get right back up there because they want bigger chunks of pull-ups here.
And there you see, after the second round where Camille had beat Talayna by a significant amount of time in round number 2, both of them come up with the bar at the same time in round number 3. So looking back in 2, maybe Talayna has a little bit of a game plan not to burn out too early, where Camille's really coming out of the gates pretty hot right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know what? It's now that in this rest time that they're actually having time to think a little more. They didn't have that in the beginning. They were kind of all out of it, but right now they're actually thinking, what did I do and what can I do in the next round to help myself out?
And the next round is coming up quick. Athletes only have 30 seconds left. We saw for round 1, they had 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Now here's where we're gonna start to see either do they have a game plan, do they not? Is it just fatigue? Are they gonna do whatever it takes? The round is 16. Going into that 18th round is where they're gonna try to set themselves up for success in the next 3 minutes.
And this is why this workout is so evil, because the better you are, the worse it feels. It hurts so much more.
3, 2, 1, go!
3 rounds down. We are now into the 4th round. 16 overhead squats, 16 chest to bar pull-ups for 2 rounds. They only have 3 minutes to complete the work. There was a lot of rest in the beginning, but these are the big rounds, rounds 4, 5, and 6.
Chase, you mentioned their overhead squat weight, their snatch weights, 185, 190. That's huge weight overhead that they're capable of doing, but I'm not sure how often they're doing high volume, lightweight. This is all going to be on legs, though. They're just stabilizing the bar, and that's a lot of legs, but it still takes a lot out of you if you're not used to practicing that.
Starting round number 4, both ladies went unbroken on the overhead squats. Neither one has broke there, but we've seen a lot of breaking here on Talayna's side on the left, and not so much by Camille on the right. And it seems she went unbroken again on the first set here of this couplet.
And as the crowd cheers for her, I think we're going to see a lot more of that as long as she can hold on to it, especially in that first set of the couplet, first couplet.
Now with that unbroken set for Camille, where Talayna broke it up in 2, Camille only got 1 extra rep on her going into the overhead squat. So we're going to see this kind of cat and mouse game going on between these 2 ladies.
And that's where this kind of workout, there's no place to hide. It's not like you can see who's getting ahead or who's fatigued. One person could be just dying inside, but keep their face calm and cool, and the other won't know it.
And here's where the reps are going to start to really pile up. 16 and 16, 32 total for this round alone, and they both go unbroken for 16. We have 90 seconds left in round number 4, and Talayna Fortunato is now the first one to the pull-up bar.
Staying consistent. And that's a true sign of a very veteran athlete and competitor. She knows under the pressure not to deviate from her plan, stick with what works, keep her 7, keep her 6. She might have to lessen it here as we go along, but she knows what she's doing.
Talayna Fortunato, 5 reps left to go. Camille now 5 reps left to go. And we just have under 1 minute left in this round, so there's still a lot of time when we think about how much time they have in between. They have plenty of room here. We are adding a lot more rests, but 18, we're trying to do the math earlier. It's going to take unbroken on the squats and very little breaks on these pull-ups to get through this round of 18.
You can see Camille's face here. She's taking it in, trying to gain her composure for this next set. She knows it's going to be a big one.
This is where we might see some big separation. 15 seconds left to go, and we are about to start round number 5.
10 seconds! 3, 2, 1, go!
And round number 5 is on the way. Minutes 12 through 15. Both ladies now completing 18 overhead squats, 18 chest to bar pull-ups.
And I just love this. This is why this is such a great test of fitness, because It's unknown, and they have to adapt. These women know overhead squats. They know chest to bar pull-ups. But in this setup, they're not doing this. They're not doing this in training. They're not adding reps, but keeping that time domain the same.
Talayna Fortunato on your left, keeping a nice, even pace through these 18, but Camille Leblanc-Bazinet has slowed down significantly, and there you see a no rep, not getting that depth needed. She is starting to come apart at the seams.
And you know, Talayna even made mention, she told us she was looking for more high-skilled movements in the open. She made mention to an overhead squat. She'd love to see it. Well, she got her wish tonight. She looks great on her range of motion on the overhead squats. Nice and controlled there.
We have 2 minutes left in this round. The ladies are just starting to get into the middle of their 18 chest to bar pull-ups. Now, if they were to finish this, they're totaling up 280 reps. That's 140 chest to bar pull-ups. Last year, the most that they ever did was between 100 and 120 chest to bar pull-ups.
And that goes to show how much more fit these women are this year. Every year they just get stronger and stronger. And Camille last year was in that event, 13.5. She won that. She's going on that adrenaline.
Camille Leblanc has just got to the bar at the halfway mark, so she's going to need to get through these overhead squats and back to that pull-up bar a little bit faster than she did the first time. I'm not sure if she was pacing it to save more for the second round, but Talayna Fortunato on your left with 3 reps left is being very smooth and consistent.
And I am surprised to see how much time and how much focus Camille's really taking here on the overhead squats.
1 minute left, and Camille breaks on overhead squats for the first time, and Talayna Fortunato with 50 seconds left is trying to get 18 reps before the time cap.
And that could be it right there, Chase. That could be where Talayna makes her move. Stayed consistent with breaking up those reps. And she's still looking strong on the bar.
Talayna Fortunato, 7 reps away from 280. She has 30 seconds. Camille Leblanc-Bazinet has yet to get off the... And now she has only 30 seconds to get 18 chest to bar pull-ups. If anybody can do this, it's Camille. 20 seconds.
Oh, and it looks like she ripped. That is so uncharacteristic for her to fall and jump off the bar like that.
Talayna finishes with under 15 seconds. Camille is 10 reps away.
And she's fighting for them, everyone.
And Camille Leblanc is out. She does not advance. What a shock. But now it's the Talayna Fortunato show. She has 3 minutes into the round of 20. 20 overhead squats, 20 chest to bar pull-ups. I don't think she's going to finish, to be honest. Now it's about how many reps can I get.
She is going to put that number on the leaderboard and be number 1 right here. And she just wants to get every single rep she can.
Talayna just as steady as she was in round 1, and now we'll see the first time she breaks. You can tell it's a lot hard. It's hard to just go head-to-head because you're pacing off the athlete in front of you, not a whole field like you would see at regionals or the CrossFit Games. But now you are one person all by yourself in this just cave of pain. For what? For a rep count you don't know how it's going to stack up later.
And that's the thing. She doesn't know, and she's not going to want to do this workout again. A second break here in overhead squats. You can see the fatigue in her face. She doesn't want to pick up that bar from going unbroken and now seeing 2 breaks. That's huge, Chase.
Talayna will have to get to 300 reps in the top part, middle of your screen. That's your rep count. 300 means she's done, and she'll move to chest to bar pull-ups. And that'll do it.
It's everything she has now, Chase. She's going to break this up, and she's going to try to get as many as she can. But she's going to have to go to that dark place here.
She's been very consistent with her pacing. She broke in round number 2, which we weren't sure how that was going to fare for her later. Well, it's fared pretty well. We have 90 seconds left in the round of 6. She's about 4 reps in. It just comes to what can you do? Just scratch, claw, get to the finish.
And you know, this is Talayna's second time at a CrossFit Open announcement. And last year she went head-to-head with Kristen Clever, and she did not win. I think she wants a little redemption here, and this is great for her. She's getting the spotlight right now, and it's all on her. She's going to just enjoy it and soak up every rep she can.
She is. She's back in front of her hometown. All eyes on Talayna Fortunato. 11 reps out of the 20 she needs before she can go back to the bar. If every single rep, she is setting and raising the bar for the rest of the world.
And what a sign of what this workout is doing. These are your top athletes with chest to bar pull-ups, and Talayna is doing singles. This workout is just evil.
Evil indeed. Thank you to Dave Castro. 14.2, 30 seconds away, and 4 reps. Can Talayna get off this pull-up bar and squeeze out just a few more overhead squats? We've seen every rep can mean the difference between 10 to 20 places at this level.
And the crowd is behind her right now.
She has 2 to go with 10 seconds left.
And even with this, she's keeping that pace off the bar, right back up.
And Talayna Fortunato takes open 14.2 over Camille Leblanc-Bazinet with an unofficial score with 320 reps.
What a performance. She stayed solid and consistent all the way through. Stuck to her strategy, it worked, it paid off, and you could see she's beat up here at the end of the workout.
What an effort by Talayna and Camille. And let me just say that number again, 320 reps, which means she did 160 chest to bar pull-ups and overhead squats. What a tremendous effort by both athletes here.
It is just ridiculous. Their fitness levels, their ability to do that, given especially too that they just found out the workout, and with that kind of workout, it's not something you just go right out there and you just hit it. You have to have that strategy. They're smart athletes. Talayna's super smart to break that up and learn where to go with her strategy and come out on top.
You can't overstate how amazing it is to take a unknown workout with maybe 6 to 8 minutes of time to just process, not just process about what's about to happen, but how they got through this. So a testament to these games athletes. Well, for Tanya, I'm Chase Ingram. Now, for more coverage and commentary from our athletes, we'll be back.
There's a revival happening, a reinvestment in American ingenuity, a return to manufacturing at the local level, where real success is measured in the jobs you create, in the quality of your craftsmanship. It has everything to do with doing things the right way, the way things used to be done, all in an honest day's work.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're just catching our breath from 14.2. Kiki Dixon had one of the best seats in the house, and now she's standing by with Camille.
Miami, you brought the heat to 14.2. I'm here with Camille Leblanc-Bazinet. They love you. How does this atmosphere affect what you're doing out there?
It's a lot more fun than doing it. It's more fun than doing it by yourself at your gym. Like, this is cool.
I can only imagine. We're going to be having some replay footage of the overhead squats. This is your last round. It looks like this is where you slowed down, and then you were looking at your hands as well. What was going on there?
I started ripping, and I was just telling myself to suck it up and keep going. I don't know. Nothing was going through my head, really. It was just pick it up and keep going. It just started to be very hard, but that's it.
And you're giving 14.2 another shot?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
All right, awesome job out here. Ladies and gentlemen, Camille Leblanc-Bazinet!
Guys, I've got with me the young lady who's sitting on top of the leaderboard right now, Talayna Fortunato. So Talayna, last year you did fantastic in your open pairing as well, but it was a lot different. You were at Boulder at altitude. How did it feel different doing this one here in Florida at home?
I like the crowd, my Florida crowd. That helps.
So it looked like you were the one going through that emotional deal. When we're coming up on the 15th minute, you didn't know if you really wanted to get that. What were you thinking right at the 15th minute when you knew Camille wasn't going to go on to the next round with you?
Oh no, I was pacing it out. Like, okay, I have enough time, I'm gonna get there. But I knew I couldn't go unbroken on the pull-ups anymore. It was just gone.
So can you tell us about the pacing scheme from the get-go? What was your plan as soon as you heard Dave's announcement?
Well, my plan was, because we got to rest, just the first round's unbroken, and then see what it feels like from there. And then I quickly found out that I needed to break the pull-ups, but not the overhead squats.
Well, it was an amazing showing. Congratulations. Thank you for the show. Guys, Talayna Fortunato. Dave Castro, that looked painful, my friend. How are you feeling about the outcome of 14.2?
I'm really happy with how it played out. We wanted to do something that was a little stronger, sent a stronger message than 14.1. 14.1 was easy and accessible and everyone could do. 14.2 quickly becomes difficult for a lot of people. And last year's workout that was similar to this would have been 13.5. This was similar but very different in that the reps climb. And what we're going to see here is more people like me and you, more average people, be able to get into the second and third round rather than in 13.5 last year. A lot of people got stopped after that 4 minutes and couldn't get to advance. This year, a few more people would advance, but it'll quickly fall on top of you like a brick building, and then you're just done. And so that breaking point for a lot of people is going to be interesting to see. For some, it'll be physical. For others, it'll potentially be mental. And this is going to be a cool one to sit back and watch and do and see how it levels out the leaderboard after this week.
For sure. Dave, how about Miami, dude?
How about Miami? Thank you very much for Miami. You guys are great. Nick and I Am CrossFit Cool, Nick and Mike, thank you guys for being great hosts. This facility has been amazing. DJ Irie, thank you for spinning for us. We've had fun, and we will love to come back to Miami again for another event. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks to Dave. Guys, thanks again to the Miami community. You guys are amazing. Guys, if you're watching from home, remember, the cool down immediately follows this show, so get your tweets in now. For the rest of us, you saw what these ladies can do. Now it's our turn. Hit them squats and chest to bar pull-ups hard. Remember to have fun, and we'll see you next week. We're going to do this thing all over again from the Big Easy. We're headed to New Orleans. So until then, I'll see you on the leaderboard. Good night.
Next week, it's CrossFit on the Bayou. Stacy Tovar has her sights set on a 6th trip to the CrossFit Games. She'll go up against the 4th fittest woman on the earth from 2013, Sandra Pacelli. Big names invade the Big Easy. 14.3 live next Thursday on games.crossfit.com.
It's a really humbling experience to stand in front of 60 participants every weekend and shake their hands and share with them the love that we all have for CrossFit. And I think the transmission of culture is just an expression of our passion for CrossFit and our passion for the knowledge that we get to give to people and that experience we get to have every weekend. I don't think it's anything we have to think about. It's just something that's a byproduct of what we love to do.
Life doesn't care where you're going or how you get there. Sometimes you have to push, pull, or fight through it. It's not always perfect, and it doesn't come easy. Life simply asks that you join it.
Hello again. This is the Cool Down Show. It's our second installment. There is no script for the show, just your tweets to these athletes, to Dave Castro, and this week sitting in the hot seat, we've got Adrian Bosman as well. So we'll start reading some tweets here in a second, but I'm going to kick it off with a question, guys, because it fascinates me every time. I see you two. I know that you're friends. I know that you can train outside of this, but it's unavoidable that you're head-to-head. You got to see each other. How does it affect you being in just one-on-one environment, watching the other person?
I think it just pushes you to be better. I don't think there is anything nasty about it, but seeing her push makes me push more, and hopefully the opposite is the same. But I think it's just fun to feel like you have a training partner for once.
It kind of felt like I was doing a workout with a training partner, which I never get to do. So it was a fun.
How about that? I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. When you saw her pacing the pull-ups and stopping, did that affect what you thought in your head?
Not at all. I think we both know our strength. We both know our weakness. And for me, I just want to pass the least amount of time on a bar, and that means like not breaking. And that's my strength too. So I just think we both have a different strategy because we're both really different athletes.
Great, cool. Let's take a tweet. So from Allison J. Boyd, how early do you guys get to learn the workouts? What was your game plan after hearing 14.2? Dave, actually, how early do these guys get to hear the workouts?
They actually, truthfully, don't get to know the workouts till we announce them. So the first time they heard the workout was the first time you guys heard the workouts. And that's how it's been for all of these announcements. There's actually very, very few people, even on our crew or staff here, who know the workouts until we announce it. And we go through a lot of diligence to make sure it stays that way and make sure that the workouts are known by as few people as need to know them. So they definitely don't know them until we announce them.
You want to talk about the experience of finding out on site?
Yeah, people think, I think it's so funny that people always think that we know the workout because we're the last one to know. And there's no game plan because we don't know what to warm up for. We don't even know what we're going to do. So when they announce that we have 2 minutes to get ready, so people at the gym that have like, an hour-long warm-up, test out the workout, well, we don't have that at all. It's like maybe change your shoes, maybe tape your thumb, and that's it.
Find out and you got to go.
Yeah, in the back I was just doing a few of everything. Some total bar, box jump. I brought out a couple pairs of shoes and actually switched them after he said the workout because I knew I wasn't doing burpees, so I wanted my lifters.
I know you were hoping for wall balls. No wall balls, no burpees. Let's take another tweet. Here we go. Galitis11, it looks like, how does competing at the CrossFit Games compare to being head-to-head? Do you get nervous with all that going on?
Yeah, I think competing at the game, it's a full year of training. It's, I think it's the end of your journey of that year. So I think we get a lot more nervous, but a lot more focused, because that's where you want to peak and everything. And here it's like preparation for the game, so it's mainly fun and enjoying the sport, you know?
Yeah, I think here I definitely try and enjoy myself more. And at the games, it's just focus. It's not so much about fun anymore, because that's what you work for all year long. So you're just there to get it done.
And you learned a lot about that at this year's games. Your blog post said that you really changed your mental after this last games. Can you tell me about that?
I would put pressure on myself all year long last year instead of just when it's go time. And now I'm trying to enjoy it more and having a good time again.
Seems to be going well for you.
Yeah.
Before we get to this next tweet, actually, I'm going to pitch one up to Bosman. This workout is unique. I saw you no-repping Camille a couple times. I want to know why, and I want you to point out the difference between this and the thruster of 13.5 from a judging standpoint.
Yeah, so there were a couple of no reps where Camille wasn't standing all the way up, and she got one no rep where she wasn't deep enough. So on those overhead squats, especially when you're moving fast, you've got to make sure that you stand up all the way, get all the way down there. You know, it's when you start really chugging along that things can get a little messy.
It's almost more. Is it more simple to judge an overhead squat? Probably. You just got to watch the hips.
Sorry, what?
You just have to watch the hips. It's easier to do.
That's right. It's the hips don't lie. That's the situation. I feel like that was a setup.
Hashtag the hips don't lie. AP Boz. Let's take another tweet. From Chris Poulin 1. How far do you think we'll see athletes go? Great question. Dave, let's hear from you. Is this it? Is this what's possible?
It might not be much more than that for the women. For the men, someone will get to do some work in the 20s. Someone will do some work in the 20s. I don't know if they'll finish, but they'll do some work in the 20s. If they'll finish the round of 20. But there'll be some people who touch that.
Yeah, I definitely think Talayna put a huge showing out here tonight, and we'll see what happens with the leaderboard, but
yeah, we know we thought Camille, queen of chest to bar pull-ups. What do you guys think? Can somebody else go further than what you just did?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other girls that are pretty good at this. And also, they'll have their own gym, their own thing and everything, and they can get ready and test out the workout and everything. So I think we'll see a lot of girls get into the 20. Yeah, I don't think we'll see really anyone passing that, but we'll see a lot of them being there.
A lot of girls, 20s?
I think if I had time to warm up and play with it, I might have gotten a few more, but I don't know about getting all the way through the 20s. That would have been hard.
You look like grip. Was grip the huge issue?
No, I wasn't ripping. It just my forearms was starting to blow up because you're holding the bar and then you're holding the bar.
Yeah. Great. Let's take another one. Castro calling 20 plus.
Yep.
All right, so grip the main issue. How about shoulders, guys? With the holding the bar overhead, chest to bar pull-ups, with the shoulders an issue too, or is it mostly grip?
What?
She's reading the question.
She's reading up. Okay, we'll go to it. We'll go to it. So this is actually directed towards you. What strategy would you suggest for athletes that struggle with chest to bar pull-ups?
I think for the chest to bar, if you struggle with that, I would do small set with small rest. So instead of trying to do a big set and then rest forever, if you can always get 3 at a time, I would do 3, come back down, jump back up. Just always get back on the bar real quick. And that way they'll really save you a lot.
Yeah, even maybe singles with just consistent movement.
Whatever you can do.
Anything different from that?
No, that's pretty much it. Start breaking up the pull-ups early.
Would you guys, going back, you said you might have changed your strategy, like the first couple rounds when you had 90 seconds of rest, would you do it differently?
Slow down just a little bit. Not a lot, because it's nice to have that rest.
Cool. Okay, cool. We got one more question. It's going to be for Talayna. Talayna, this is your second Open Live announcement. Did you do anything different this time around?
I worked the day before. No, not really. Besides not being a mile high and having the home crowd, I wasn't as nervous this time.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe nerves for both of you guys. Last week, I got to tell you that Marcus and Garrett both seemed really, really nervous before the event. It was their first time around, but you guys have both been not just at the games, but here as well. You think that helped you as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think doing last year 13.5 was so crazy that I kind of knew what to expect. And I think nerves are good to a certain extent, but you really need to calm down yourself to try to be as good as you can be. So, at the end, it's just another workout.
Totally, guys. That was going to be our last one. So thank you all for your tweets. We enjoyed all of them. Thank all of you.
1 second. Before we go on, Rory, we actually have a surprise for you. Because of some allegations recently, we're doing a random drug test on you. So no, you're going to have to go with, you're going, you're testing.
Thank you, that's our show.
There's been a lot of allegations, so we're going to test him. Join us next week. If he's on the show, that means he passed the drug test. Thank you, guys. See you next week.